Alright, hey everybody, Texas Strokers here, Lance's Performance Shop, Mopars.com. Sunday night about 9 p.m. Got some nasty weather coming in tomorrow. And quite frankly, Sunday nights in particular have been like the only time recently I've had. So working crazy hours, weekends. This weekend I didn't have to work Sunday, but Saturdays have kind of been, shot for stuff like this. And believe it or not, we're out here for work-related purposes. That's right, this stuff I'm wanting to get showcased because I kind of need to have it at work tomorrow. So, this shouldn't be too long of a video. This stuff all kind of came in together for reasons you will soon understand. And we're going to get started with tool of the day. Actually, we're not. Let's get some packing out of the way. Anytime you order from KC Tool and exceed the $100 threshold, you're going to get the German Tool sticker pack. And anytime you place any order, whether it's $100, $50, or $2, you're going to get the classic bit of things. I'm currently shipping as a number 2 from VIT, and cannot argue with that. So, that said, if you're new here, we do timestamps. They're there for your convenience. We also link everything still as of recording this. They're not affiliate links. They're strictly there to help you out. So, speaking of help you out, I guess we will get started with what? Whoa. You know what? Let's just do this, because this was nearly catastrophic. Alright. So, we're going to get started with this. You can't see it too well. Let's lay it down. You think like, whoa, this is a great intro to this video, but yeah, it kind of seems vaguely familiar. Well, it should, because this is a personal set of Gedore. I think this was I'm trying to think. I don't know that this is still available. I don't think these wood stands are still available. My only regret with the wood stands is I didn't buy more of them. I bought several of these small stands. I use them for all sorts of things. Yes, even pins and markers. But this is a Gedore chisel and punch set, basically. You've got a center punch somewhere in there, I think, right? No, that was it. Yeah, right here. Okay, that's where I thought it was, and then it didn't look like it had a tip on it. So, as from this angle, you can hopefully see what I'm saying. Looked like just a smaller drift punch, but we got chisels. Kind of a chisel slash scraper type of a deal. Then we've got the center punch, we've got pin punches, and we've got drift punches. So, sort of just a random gauntlet of things. I love these. It's pretty easy in the right light anyway to tell. Some of these get used a lot, and some of them don't get used much. And if you're thinking like, okay, well, what is the point of this? Well, let's throw this down. This right here, you're thinking like, hey, okay, you brought one of these in recently. You're like, whoa, hey, this is, did you bring in, you're trying to remember now, like, did this guy buy the pin punches or the drift punches? I can't remember, but they were definitely blue. You remember that part. And yeah, this is totally the set that we've already showcased. If you're wondering why they're here, I knew I was hoping to do this video this weekend because the stuff came in and I brought them back home. So, this ties in again, trying to get the frickin' Cushman chuck apart. This is the one we were using because it's about the only thing that would fit there. It was tearing it up. This is going to tie in really nicely with what we did. If you recall, I want to say it was that video, I told you, ironically, after buying this, the tool of the day was actually the Gedore 6-piece drift punch set. And if you're thinking like, hey, that's a great segue if that's the first item you're going to showcase us, and it totally is. So, right here in bubble wrap, which is nice. I don't know that they would always come like this. I don't know if this is something they did or will do for all of these. I don't know if it's designed to protect the beautiful finish on the case. I don't know if it was there just because of other items in this box, which is very high probability. You'll understand shortly. But good freaking grief, this is nice. So, I want to say I remember seeing, this is years ago, German Tool Reviews bring in something in like a blue enamel finished case. This looks way better than I remember it looking. It's like a true blue. Obviously, you got some tape there to kind of keep it shut. You got a label that hopefully peels off cleanly. Very large Gedore logo, but this thing is nice. So, love the color of it. And if you're thinking like, well, this must be the tool of the day, the drift punches. That is correct. This was Gedore's part number 8754060. It's the 113D drift punch set, again 6 pieces. Tool of the day price, $34.99. That's insane. I'm not going to argue with it. I'm just going to take advantage of it. Now, some of you are sitting here and you're saying like, hey, you know, I kind of like this wood setup better, you know, and then others of you are like, oh yeah, you know, the blue case, the black case, you can tell them apart. It's going to keep them nice and organized. Sweet. That's what I would prefer. That wood thing is ridiculous. Well, that's the thing. You've got choices, and so do I. And if you think, well, hey, if you did the wood deal, why all of a sudden are you going the cases? You're just trying to appease an audience and make things, you know, different so you have video content, right? That's sad. You should do what you want to do. Well, in this particular case, aside from also wanting to get this tape off my finger, which if you'll note, the label came with it, this is exactly what I wanted to do. And no, it's not just variety. No, it's not just video purposes. Here at the house, it's me. I'm solo. It's very rare that I have anyone even in here helping me, right? We do some ridiculous things, some sketchy things, some dangerous things. I can leave this sitting out. It sits on top of the box, or in the hutch, caddy, whatever that would technically be called. And it's just there, and it's ready for me to come and pick what I need, go to town with it, take care of it, put it back, not put it back, whatever. Whether it's there where it's supposed to be or gone, it's all on me. Because again, I'm working solo. I don't want these sitting out at work, because someone will take them and use them and not put them back, or walk off with them, or throw them in their pocket, or lose it, or accidentally throw it away, or put it in the metal bin, or just like have it roll off a table and it stays there for an unknown amount of time before I eventually find it. Not good. This case is much more desirable to me at work than this. Now, if I'm working solo, if I've got a great crew of people that I trust and I've trained and actually follow through and do what you tell them to, it's very hard to break people's habits, right? You're either going to hire somebody that's like an organizational wizard, somebody that's kind of indifferent but can do what you want done because they're trying to please you and, you know, get on your good side and get time off and raises and all kinds of benefits. Or more than likely, you just have people that kind of don't care. They're indifferent in that direction. And therefore, whatever their tendencies are beforehand, which is probably not OCD, neat and order, you're going to have that applied to whatever is out in the shop, right? So, this case keeps 6 pin punches. I can fold it up, I can stow it away, it can be locked away in my cart. It's awesome. That is what I love about this, aside from like, ooh, the colors, right? It's just the utility of it. I can have these 12, while yes, it's cool to have them fanned out. You can see what you've got, easy to grab, easy to see if it's missing. This is compact, and I can store it away. I could stack both of these, and in the cart, I've got room to stack like 4 more cases just like them. So, very small footprint. We'll get measurements here in a second, maybe. But right here, it opens the same way. It's got similar foam. This one is not quite the same. This one doesn't fold out. And you'll note these have a different finish where these are the blue. I don't quite understand the logic on what they do, where, and why. I don't know if I've like, this is pin punch, but didn't you think it's sit over here and like, why are those pin punches gold? I don't know. Might have to ask Colin about that. But man, these are stupid, stupid nice. If you think, hey, I thought I'd seen you buy some standalones. I totally do. What do I do with them? Stuff like this. And if you think like, okay, what have you done there? Looks in really good shape. You haven't even hit it. You're right, I haven't, and that's because this. It's going to seem dumb until you try it, but this is specifically set up and made to do -6 AN or PTFE stuff. It kind of comes in and I can get the tube straightened out perfect, what you've got to do, and PTFE stuff. And then the stainless, the nylon, the braid, the filament, all that junk. This does a really good job of getting it out of my way. So little things like that. I've got several little custom things I've done over the years and just make my life easier. So set contents here. We'll just start on this side to be different. You can see we got part number 99125. I give you these why, so you can go and track down what you want. If you see anything, you're like, hey, that looks like it would have fit great here. I think this would be a 13. We drop down here. You're going to see we've got 100-10. We've got a 12 there. Again, these are really, really nicely done. This one does come to a tip. It's kind of more like the center punch style, if you will. this one here, you have got 9910-3. Obviously down there, it looks like we've got it's not really an 11, it's more like a I1. I don't know. It's strange stamping. Not too terribly concerned. Again, this is just sort of for your reference at this point in time. Coming in next, we have got 99-10-2. Number at the bottom. Again, going to be that I1 deal. Alright, here we've got 99-10-1. Again, trying to kind of showcase that tip and profile for you. And then you got another beefcake here on the end. Again, I guess they try to kind of balance the load out is probably what the thought process is. We say that, and then the drift pins are totally not adhering to that. But in this case, we've got 99-12-4. And I guess that's like a 1-2 and a 1-1. Like, I'll try to highlight it here. It's probably irrelevant. It probably has something to do with like a breakdown of the series. But see how that looks like a 12? Or it could be like a straight up line and a 2. Let me grab this one. And you would think like, okay, if it's not 12, you said it was what, an 11? Right there, see how the 1 is defined like the 2, and then there's that line in front of it? So yeah, yet they are still the 9910 series, so yep, who knows? Again, I'm kind of in too big of a hurry, my apologies, to sort it out right now. It's a stupid nice little case. And again, tool of the day price of $35. This was full of win. What I want to know from you in the comments section is who else cashed in on this little deal. Now, we've got one downside here. It is not, I repeat, not wanting to shut. And now it does. And the reason it wasn't wanting to shut is this foam, which again, it's up to you, but it was down just a little ways like that. And you can get the latch in place, but it's not got enough clearance to actually stay. All we're going to do is slide this foam all the way back to the top. Again, if this is annoying to you or something, I would suggest maybe some adhesive or double-sided tape on the bottom side. Note that the case is the enamel finish on the inside as well. Now that that foam is positioned better, the clasp is secure. So there those are. Again, absolutely beautiful. And the great thing, the truly great thing, is that we're able to close up both cases and just kind of, again, have them stack. Look at that profile. Nothing to it. You've got room in any drawer in the toolbox for pin punches and drift pins in a small compact case like that. So, this is, let's see, I guess where we're going to go next. And I gotta confess, I was a little heartbroken when I came over here to the bench. Now, going way, way, way back, I'm talking probably single-digit KC tool hauls, we have this beautiful little hammer, okay? It's from Gedore. It's kind of that classic finish. You've probably seen this in a ton of my other videos. There's the head. The head not really too terribly torn up, and there's reason for that. And that reason is this little nylon cap. You can see the 500 in there. That means that yes, this is a 500 gram engineer's hammer, and it just basically mates up like this. This hammer, I use it so much with this soft face on it that it literally has not left this bench. The only time it has left this bench is when I've taken it closer to whatever I'm working on. It's just kind of a staple here. We typically have the Cutex tape measure, this, the Channel Lock 318 CBs over here, tons of screwdrivers, but this thing I love so much, it's just kind of a fixture on the workbench. So, this is where we're going to get kind of weird here, and I want to get back on the Cushman story for you. Some of you may care, some of you probably don't, some of you may not know what we're talking about, but something like this would fit, okay? Again, the jaws are completely seized, and I only have access to the scroll plate like in a fingernail width position out here at the very perimeter. If you hit it with steel, you mar the finish of the scroll, which may not be a big deal because I'm thinking that it's trashed at this point. But with brass, like I cannot, you've got to understand, like with the jaws here, you would have 90-degree turn here, like a U-channel, right, on the chuck itself. But then you have the jaws, and the jaws, they're not totally flush. They sort of like, it's it's not really a crown, it's more of like a peak, right? As they come out, that's an insignificant detail until it hinders you in your ability of driving down straight. You can see there, this one's been used a few times. But I have to come in at an angle. And I had broken the smallest brass punch that I had. Again, brand new pickup there at work. And this past week, I broke the bigger brass punch. What happens, essentially, on that first hit, you bend it. Even the big one that doesn't really fit well, you bend it. And so again, to kind of utilize the tool, you got to straighten it back out. Well, as you might guess, there's only so many times that I can go from having a bent noodle to straighten it back out before it shears off somewhere. And yes, that's not on impact, that's when you're physically moving it back. Sick feeling to destroy it. They're beautiful brass punches. They've got knurling on them. They're Mayhew. Made in the USA, if anyone cares. But again, I can't really come in and hit straight up square. I have to come in at a stupid angle. No longer I can do that because, again, they're both broken. And what I wanted to say, and somebody might know this, some of you will probably think it's stupid, but when I use this or any soft-faced hammer, okay, it prevents me from marring up finishes. That's sort of the beauty of this thing. You really can't tell how much I've used that. It's pretty dirty in person, but just due to the color of it, you don't like see there's a pretty big dimple here, obviously like in the center, and just all around it is sort of peppered, but it's held up very well for all the use it's had. But what I'm getting at is this protects the hammer, this protects the finish of whatever you're hitting. I cannot do what I'm trying to do with a brass punch without destroying the brass punch. I can use the steel punches and not bend them and have them shear off as I straighten them out, but I ruin the finish of the plate. If someone would make a, hard plastic nylon sleeve type thing, similar to what's on this hammer, but for pin punches, my lord, would that sell? This might be where some of you are like, idiot, don't you know about those? Well, I don't. If anyone is making those things, and maybe it would be a limited segment of the market, maybe it's like super rare and hardly anyone would do it, but most people are going to have punches like this or run out and get punches like these. Doesn't matter the brand, the country of origin, you probably got something similar. Stare at Meditoyo, machinist grade, junk from the hardware store, whatever, people probably have them. Since they're standardized, SAE and metric, it would be fairly simple for a company to come out. I mean, even Gedore could just make them for theirs. If theirs are always this length, and then they have that same punch in a smaller length, and they want to make the, protective sheath cover, 30% of the tip, or 10% is all that's needed and it stays on, whatever they want to do. If they made proprietary, if someone made this universal, I think that crud would sell. Because what would that allow me to do? I could come in with a punch like this, which I can get readily available from anywhere, and not bend, and I could come at that stupid angle, and with that soft face, I wouldn't mar it up. Now, you do run the risk, just like soft jaws on the Knipex Cobra, right? If you use them enough, if you apply enough torque over and over again, you're going to wear them out. Sell them in packs. Make a set for your entire punch set, or common sizes, standalone. Sell, if this is the only size you use, sell people 10. Do something. It would be known as a consumable. It's not going to last forever. You're probably not going to use it often, once in a blue moon. But it would be cheap, and it would be freaking awesome. So, that's sort of where we tied in with that. So, this has been a great hammer. It's been a great soft face. If I could get a soft face for some of these punches, I would be thrilled. Drift punches, even chisels, sometimes would be nice. Again, you got to think like freak, oddball things where you wouldn't want chiseling or punching action, but just to keep from marring up and destroying delicate finishes or softer materials, it would be killer. So, how does that all really tie in with this? Well, right here. Because when we bought this Gedore hammer, KC Tool did not have Picard. I did not know of Picard, right? It was one of those things. I'm like, whoa, they make these super cool hammers. And if you study the lineup of other German tool companies, you'll see eerily similar hammers, right? And who knows, maybe it's a deal where it's different, but I'm inclined to say that the OEM behind pretty much everything is going to be Picard, right? So this was wrapped up really nicely as well. I don't think they always do that, but I feel like with this case, again, that might be why it got the bubble wrap. Who knows, maybe it's something they do. I feel like I've gotten hammers before that have not been wrapped, but it is much appreciated because this is beautiful, and I would have hated to have seen that arrive marred up, so it's probably just KC Tool being extra cautious with your order. Right here, though, this is eerily similar, right? And you can see brand new, untouched, undamaged face on both sides. Those stickers do not come off well. That is very unfortunate. And this is the Secutec, made in Germany. Again, super nice. I believe they're hickory handles. Obviously they are. That says it right there. Duh. So the Picard, you get kind of like the orange metal sleeve, and you kind of get the gray handle. Over here with the Gedore, it's a little bit different. And what I had a sinking feeling about is when I grabbed this guy, it's a 500. I ordered a 300. I had convinced myself, it was late at night when I get free time to do this stuff, I was positive that that thing was 300. I had to run, take care of something real quick, but everything is there to love about this. It's just 200 grams lighter. For whatever reason I had in my head, this was 300 grams, and it was 500. So this is still fantastic, same feel, just obviously almost half the head weight there. So it should be fine. However, I do wish that I had the 500 gram for work, given what I have planned for it. So there the hammer is. Again, price point on that, it's gonna set you back. They're not bad at all, $28.54. Now if you're thinking, hey, I bet since you were having this on your mind with all these, punches and everything, and you loved what you had, you were probably going to get a soft face for that 300 gram hammer and replicate what you have. And that's exactly what this is. This is from Picard. Now, this is a big deal for a couple of reasons. Number one, obviously, it's going to plug and play, fit fantastic, just like the previous one, I'm sure. Or I say that, maybe this fits a little too tight. But that's something that we do on. I'm sure this will... Yeah, it's not sliding on like that one. Granted, that one's been on and off quite a bit. The best way to do this is probably to hammer it home, quite literally. So, anyway, the reason that this is a big deal, aside from the price point on this thing, which was $963, is, I have told you many times throughout our KC tool hauls and other projects, it's a shame this got discontinued. I was heartbroken. Wasn't sure, how to handle it, in the event that that ever wore out, which it hasn't yet, so that's one positive from that. But it was a situation where now, knowing what we do, that's likely a Picard hammer and a Picard accessory, should that wear out, we buy the 500 gram cover from Picard, and we go to town. So currently the workbench is covered. Let's see here. Beautiful. So just like that, side of the vise comes in handy, and we have this seated a little bit better. Now that, I can tell you right now, will be an inglorious pain to get off of that thing. Again, for comparison's sake, on our Gedore, it's not the easiest thing, but I mean, it's, if you don't have a camera here in front of you, but going on is super easy. So we might have to work our magic with that. I'm sure it'll happen with age, but yeah, that's what we did there. Now, when I did have to run and take care of something, I did open up a drawer, the hammer drawer, because I thought, when we went through the whole Picard, again, haven't really researched that pronunciation, I thought, I know I bought one of those because I love that Gedore so much. It's this one. As you can see, no soft face, a little bit of wear and tear there, but this is the 500 gram. This is what I should have bought to take to work with the 500 gram soft face. So, in theory, what makes sense to do is, obviously not right now because I'm going to need to have that at work with me, is next time I order, buy a 500 gram soft face for this, put it on, take this to work, and then come back with a 300 where I can, or maybe leave it at work. The 300 I'll be honest, I think I would probably use this more here, and it's a little bit dainty in comparison. I know it's not huge difference, 300 to 500 grams, but it's noticeable, and I think heavier hitting would be more pertinent at work. Plus, we've essentially got the same hammer sitting right there in the Gedore. So, yeah, I'm thinking that's what we will do. So again, I should have checked that, but like I said, my free time, when you get home at work that late, it is, you know, 12, I'm saying midnight to 3 a.m. type of a deal, depending on how late I stay up to get something done. And you don't always feel like running out to the shop. So I was convinced it was 300 for some reason. I screwed that up. But the good news is we can salvage it. And that's exactly what we will do. So we do have one more thing we could showcase. And I don't know if I want to or not. Guess it kind of makes sense to just go ahead and do it. So we will. Hopefully this video hadn't stretched out too long. Again, it kind of got stretched. It's sort of hard to keep up where you were when you get interrupted. But sticking with the hammer theme here, we've got Halder entering the picture. Supercraft Dead Blow. Non-rebounding hammer with nylon face inserts. And, this is a big one, a rubberized fiberglass handle. This is going to clock in at 1.57 for your OD on the heads. 27.87 ounces. The reason this thing is here, it's twofold actually. This is in KC Tools gift ideas section, alright? It's not, I think it is discounted a little bit. Right now it'd be $69.01, maybe less than that. I didn't actually click the picture, so I just typed in the part number. I think sometimes if you actually go to the page, it registers lower. But I've had really good luck with my Halder stuff, and with this one, it just was unique in that it had the fiberglass handle. So here it is. This is what we've got. These faces are replaceable. That was a key component to me purchasing this, because I thought, you know what, I'm going to tear that thing up. Because the plan is to have this at work. Currently, I haven't made the video yet, but I purchased this 24-ounce soft face dead blow from Harbor Freight. It was one of those deals. It was like, what do they call it? Recent price reduction, and then I put a coupon on it, and that's how I picked that one, because it was the cheapest thing for me to get and try. I've done a thing at work where I'm only using one side of it, so I can like bring it back and eventually make a video on it and not have both sides like tune up. So it's kind of annoying having to make sure I'm hitting with the right side. But aside from it being a little black and dirty, I'm hoping I can clean it up and make a video there. But it led me to the question of like, would I rather have that at work or here at the house? And I'm going to try this one at work. So this is a very long handle, at least it feels that way. I don't know if I'm imagining things. No. 500 gram. This is the big Picard, the one that came from the drawer. Check that out. You got like an extra, what, 1.5 inches there? So interesting. Listen, it is a dead blow. It should be something that serves us well. Also ties in with the work color schemes. Granted, would I prefer any other color? Probably. But I do love, man, we've gotten really nice. This is gloss black. This is like an oven-baked enamel blue, and it's glorious. This, similarly, is kind of like an enamel finish, oven-baked style in gray. Also looks stupid good. So yeah, this is just kind of one of those deals. Sort of bought it on a whim. I thought, you know, we need to try that out. And we will. So I assume these thread in and out, but I don't know if we're gonna investigate that now, because I kind of want to get 2 good life cycles out of these things and then replace them. So hopefully they hold up a long time and I don't even have to worry about it. But gift idea from KC Tool. Again, what's gonna set this apart is the handle. You're either gonna like it or hate it, but for me personally, right now, it's a win. And again, you think, oh man, you should have gotten something bigger. You just said that 300 is too small. Totally agree. However, at the gateway price point, before I commit to something large, that's the reason why that icon is there. It's 24, not something 48, 56 heavier, right? I don't want to sink the money in until I know that I like it, but at the same time, I don't want something so small it's going to be rendered useless because I'll never have an application for it. So this, again, thinking of the chuck and everything I've had to do there, trying to not ruin the finish on things and still, you know, apply a lot of force to get something out that shouldn't be there, I thought it was worth a go. So again, we'll probably eventually compare this guy with some other things, and this might be hopping around back and forth. Maybe it stays at work, maybe it comes back home. But yeah, these are things that happen when you're pressed for time. And, you just go to town. But I do have to say, I kind of dig this thing right now. I don't have a lot here I can hit. That's hammering at an angle. I felt absolutely no reverb there, so that's cool. There again, workbench is cluttered. You can't see it, but trust me, I don't have much real estate or we'd wail on something. I'm excited to try it, and that's ultimately what I will have to do. Initial impressions, it looks amazing. It feels great. I didn't have any reverb or rebound there, and I'm excited to use it. It's about all I can tell you. We screwed the pooch on the 300 gram, but as I mentioned, like I said, the workbench is cluttered. We will salvage it by structuring and then swapping the two. But for all intents and purposes, this set right here, looks like we did a lot more in this haul. We really didn't. They're here from past purchases. This guy right here is going to work along with, we'll take these back, the pin punches in blue. We'll take this blue case with the gold finish you see behind it in drift punches. We've got really, really nice pin punches and drift punches, albeit a metric. And then we will eventually get this 500 gram hammer there because I love the Gedore 500 gram hammer. And this one with the 300 gram and the soft face, which may or may not ever come off, we'll head back to the house. So, again, bottom line, if you have never used Gedore's punches, again, if you want to come in cheap and just get like one that you need or use frequently, or you always bend or break from another set, they're stupid affordable. This on Tool of the Day at $35 is a no-brainer. Again, curious how many of you cashed in on that. The Secutec hammers, I have loved them. Again, you can find them from other manufacturers. You'll pay a little bit more for certain ones. Again, you can kind of just go default if you're okay with the branding color scheme on the Picard. Save a bit. Sometimes, again, Tool of the Day might offset that. Hazet has a really nice finish on theirs. But again, you do pay quite a bit more for them. But yeah, for $28 on the hammer and $9 on the soft head, basically sub $40 to get something like this. And again, based on how well that 500 gram soft face is held up, it's going to be a stupid good pairing. Yeah, that's kind of it. So at work in the cart, I've got compact pin punches, drift punches. We've got the soft face hammer. Again, I can take the face off and have kind of the steel face. It's kind of catch-22. And then we've got this gem right here, which I have no experience with, but I do look forward to trying. Again, you can crank these up, get huge sizes. This was in their gift ideas. I thought it would be kind of cool to showcase it. And more importantly, I'm just kind of excited to use this thing. So once I've done that, we'll have a better feel for it. With that said, there is another video I need to crank out so I can get that stuff to work where I'm going to start using it. And I'm hoping to do that right now. So what I want to know from you is, what do you think of this mess? What do you prefer? Case or stand? Or maybe just loose in a drawer? You know, preference there. Again, for me, wood stands, awesome for me at the house. Solo. No one's going to interfere with it, take it, misplace it, steal it, break it, whatever. At work, these cases, I can put them away, lock them up. They're compact. It's all I could ask for. Once again, this has been one of my favorite, again, way back in the day. It's kind of sad that this wasn't like Gedore blue. Like, imagine it in that finish. Ooh, that would be sweet. I guess I could take this apart and have it like powdered or something. But anyway, before we delve off into that, this has been a fantastic hammer, and it's kind of, again, what sold me on these. Again, if we kind of mate these two together, I think you will see the similarities. The handle size, the styling, everything. But yeah, it could be, maybe they're, you know, made independently, but eerily similar there. So anywho, these have been great to me. I'm excited to get them in use. Again, kind of messed that up, but I'll get it straightened out. So With that said, LoneStarMopars.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all three at Lone Star Mopars. If you have not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. If you do that, you ring the bell, you grab your 500-gram hammer with the soft phase, and you hit your Gedore Pin Punch, leaving no marring on the backside of the punch and knocking free the part that you're attempting to loosen on the flip side. YouTube just might notify you that we got new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, 9 a.m. Texas time. With that said, thanks again for watching. Most importantly, I hope I catch you back here for more action from the shop.